In the chromatic sea, colorful streams of energy flow in every direction, nebulous clouds forming the various currents. A crackle of electric energy expands as a torrent of shadow appears, writhing around a humanoid figure. A streak of light pierces the darkness as it flees, the only thing remaining a small amulet that unravels and discorporates into threads of color. In a dark, subterranean space, a flash of light appears, followed by a shuddering gasp for air as a half-elven man falls to his knees, clutching at his throat. Are you okay? The man turns to look at a small girl, wearing bright, flowing robes, her eyes twinkling with starlight. Where are we? Who are you? My name is Shiloh, and I don't actually know where we are. Oh, wonderful. I don't suppose you've seen someone like me, except taller and with big, cloudy hair. While describing the figure, the girl's image changes to match her description. You've got to be kidding me. So you know him? No, I just... Never mind. Thank you for saving me, but I have to go. I hope you find your friend. Hugh begins to walk as Shiloh follows behind him. Why are you following me? Because we're both lost. After walking through the darkness, dingy neon lights glow in the distance. We're in the Undercity. Where's that? The last place I want to be.
You're listening to Radio D&D.
This is Spiders in the Undercity. I am James, your Dungeon Master, joined by Stephanie playing Cordy, Mike playing John, Max playing Alistra, and Will playing Roland. You all stand on the edge of a large brass metal disc that vaguely resembles a compass, but with strange, arcane symbols. Across from you is the half-elf man, Hugh, the target of your capture. A look of desperation and anger crosses his face, and behind him stands a young, strange-looking girl, whose hair floats like a cloud while shining like the rays of the sun. The camera lingers on a small, violet flower that rests tucked behind her ear. She gives him a worried glance, but his eyes remain fixed on all of you. Standing at the center of the compass is a wizened, wild-haired man who holds his hand above the device, waiting for the command to activate it. The camera turns to you all. Johnny, what does your character look like?
Looking at John, he thinks he's the 10th Kingdom's answer to Indiana Jones. He's got this really nice hat. It's black. He wears full plate, and he's carrying a shield, but you notice he's not actually holding a weapon. He's a normal human, about 6 foot tall.
And does Johnny say anything as he stands there?
No, he's just taking it in.
Okay, so standing there looking stoic.
Yes.
Cordelia, please explain what your character looks like.
Yeah, I think she's a little bit shorter than John, who she looks very similar to. Dark brown hair. She also wears a hat, but it's white. And she's also in full plate, but she has a white dress and some crocheting details, carrying a warhammer and a shield, and has 4 skeletons behind her, and kind of has like a permanent scowl on her face.
And does Cordelia say Cordelia?
Cordelia.
Oh
you
my
can call
gosh.
her Cordy.
Okay, does Cordy say anything?
No. I think that she takes a similar stance to John and is just staring Hugh down, very stoic. It's not really her place to say much.
The camera moves to Alistra. Would you please explain what your character looks like?
Alistra is a tiefling of the caprine sort, so she has the ears of a goat popping out from her quite well kept long hair, red eyes, black sclera. Starting about the knee, she has goat legs. She is loaded with jewelry, rings on every finger, like about from the wrist. Her hand blackens, and it's long golden nails. She has golden chains coming out from her necklace around her shoulders, and earrings, nose piercings, and the like. And in her hand is a long curved great bow.
And does Alistra say anything?
She's going to keep quiet too, but for the action shot, she will be drawing out a long barbed arrow from the quiver on her side.
And last but not least, Roland.
Yeah, Roland, he probably about 6 foot, dark elf, standing probably more towards the back of the group. He's got medium length, brownish gray hair. And strapped to his hip, you see a wand that is not drawn yet.
And he has a friend with him as well.
Does, but I'm actually going to have Quasit be invisible for the time being.
Does Roland say anything?
He's not saying anything out loud, although it looks like he's concentrating on something.
So as you all stand there in quiet opposition, the silence is deafening. Hugh sneers and turns subtly to the girl, whispering, "I'm going to get you out of here, I promise." He gives a slight nod to the wizard, whose hands begin to glow with arcane power, activating the compass. It begins spinning wildly as you all feel the ground shift below your feet. Several concentric rings begin orbiting and spinning around you as the walls, ceiling, and world around you begin tearing apart piece by piece until you are surrounded by a spectrum of colors. The camera becomes obscured by the blinding light as it refocuses on a dimly lit city street, a blaze of color coming from one of the many neon tubes that light the street. Text appears at the bottom of the screen. 3 days earlier. We hear the power tools of a goblin mechanic as it echoes through the street, and a flash of fire erupts and explodes from one of the nearby neon tubes. The goblin shrieks in fear and swears under his breath, "Damn these temperamental things!" And we focus on a small, rough-looking shop. Its walls have been eroded from the numerous years of water runoff from a broken pipe, and outside a neon sign flashes the word "open." The four of you stand outside, knowing this is the place Hugh bought his amulet of proof against detection and location. The thing that is obscuring Navras's and perhaps your sight from you all.
Well, this seems to be the place.
Yeah. One of us should probably go in there.
Well, you're the strong ones, yes? And she wave her hand to the door.
We are here
just
to
a-
provide leverage.
Right. It's just a door.
No drama here. She'll try the doorknob.
Yeah, it's unlocked.
She will sweep her way inside.
Roland would like to follow, I guess, Alistra in and cast Detect Magic.
As you walk in the shop, there are numerous gizmos and baubles lining the shelves that may appear to an ordinary person to have some amount of magic. But as you cast your magic over them, maybe waving your hand past them, they all seem absolute worthless junk to you.
Roland's no longer interested.
And behind the counter sits a squat dwarven man who is fiddling with some strange device. He makes a scowling face and, clearly defeated, puts it down as he turns to his new patrons.
Approach the counter, like drum her long nails on the counter. I've heard you have sold a nice amulet here recently. Would you able to divulge this information to us?
What do you mean amulet? I sell lots of things,
It's a very special amulet for someone who doesn't want to be seen.
Oh yeah. And he thinks about it and he's like, normally I don't divulge information of previous customers,
And he will hold out a calloused, grubby hand.
John would shake his hand. Anything done for the Lord's wishes is its own reward. Wouldn't you agree?
Are you doing this intentionally?
To
As in,
intimidate, yes.
so the way he's holding his hand is as if he were going to take a bribe of some sort.
I'm well aware of what he's trying to do. Yes.
Okay, just making sure. So yeah, you take his hand and maybe a little bit of a squeeze, right it into a handshaking position. You see him startle slightly. Go ahead and make your intimidation check, please.
17.
It's pretty good. You see him try to take his hand away from you. Do you let go or?
No. I would, if I feel some low resistance, I'll take my other hand and kind of cup it so as his hand is between both my plated gauntlets.
As you're doing that, Will, you will see one item in here that does look of value. It is a simple but classy looking statue. And it does look quite valuable. As he's trying to pull his hand away, he says,
I sell lots of things to people. I mean, maybe I sold an amulet to some bloke.
I'm sure you have. Unfortunately, we need to find this man, and we come to understand that because of what you've sold him, we are going to have a very hard time finding him.
I don't see how that's my fault. I sell things to people. I can sell you guys something too.
Oh, really? What do you have?
And do you let him have his hand back?
Yes.
Okay. He goes below his counter and pulls out a myriad of devices. He tries to turn on one, but it crumbles into pieces. He's like, "Oh no, not that. That one's not ready yet." And he fumbles for something of value.
Darling, unless you can sell us something that's going to help us find him, I'm afraid that we're really not interested in this kind of junk.
Are you saying that to him?
Oh, yeah. I imagine she's standing right next to John, the whole time.
Yeah, he just looks flabbergasted. And
I work hard on this stuff. If you know like this, I can make you something else, yeah?
Maybe. I don't know. She just kind of fixes her hat a little bit. Listen, I think that we're really just more interested in the information that you have on the man that you've sold that to. What name he was using or what he looked like.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. You can have advantage since the intimidation was so good.
Can I give myself guidance?
Yeah, I can say you gave yourself guidance.
Okay. So 15 plus 4, so a 19.
He nods and he says, well, I guess the man came in here, half elf, dark elf, I think, came in here twice. About a month ago, bought one for himself. And then just yesterday, well, another one. I'm not sure why you'd need two. He did have an interesting person with him. Small girl, very bizarre looking. Her eyes, they remind you of starlight. Never seen anyone like this.
Do you kind of want to insight him, but like that sounds like it's telling the truth. But
Do we have information on creatures with those sorts of eyes?
You do not.
Okay. Yeah, Cordy just kind of like sighs and it's like, a little girl with stars in her eyes.
Yeah. Very strange.
But I mean, any other weird features? I mean, you said she's strange, but the stars in her eyes. I mean, what'd she look like? Was she like a tiefling or like an elf or?
Well, she looked like normal human, but just strange, wild, shining hair. I've never seen someone like it.
James, could I ask him something while casting Detect Thoughts at the same time?
Yeah. What do you want to ask him?
What did he say while you were here?
As you're saying that, he's like thinking to himself. These are surface level thoughts, so no need to probe deeper. He is like thinking, I need these people out of my shop. They seem like they're up to no good. Think of something to tell them. Think of something to tell them. And he's like, I think they said maybe going to the Badlands. Yeah, Badlands.
would I know that he casted Detect Thoughts?
I feel like you guys have worked together long enough to kind of know each other's vibe. So what does it look like when you cast Detect Thoughts, Roland?
I imagine that I'm just walking up and I'm kind of rubbing my temple for a quick second as I speak to him. Or where my temple would be underneath my band.
Alistra, you see Roland holding his finger to his temple, his signature casting Detect Thoughts. And as you cast that, Roland, this guy is just trying to get you out of his shop.
I'd like to say that making up an answer for us to leave won't help.
Yeah, he looks at you and he's like, I mean, might have been someone else who said that. You can see like he's struggling for something to say. What, are you sneak attacking him?
Oh no! Oh my bad. I misclicked. Not yet.
Goodness, very eager, eh?
No, please.
So yeah, Roland, he just like scratches his bearded chin. He's like, oh, people come in here, buy stuff, they don't want to be found, they don't tell me where they're going.
Silly question. Does anybody have the spell Locate Object?
Of course I do. And I have it prepared. Aren't you lucky?
Let's go.
And I can use it once per day as part of my finder's magic because I'm a mark of fighting human.
Ooh, look at you.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What a queen.
Well, I think it would be definitely hard to locate an object that is perhaps built to not be located.
But is the object designed to not be located or just the person?
Just the person. For the let me see. Proof against detection and location. While wearing this amulet, you are hidden from divination. You can't be targeted by such magic or perceived through scrying sensors. Now, locate object.
I'm assuming locate creature would also. That is divination. So
That is divination. So that you would not be able to target him with.
Locate object is also divination, but I'm assuming that
It's targeting the object, not the person.
That is
Mhm.
correct. So it's within 1,000 feet of you,
Good lord.
Yeah.
which is less than half a mile, if I'm correct.
Sounds like it's probably correct.
Well, I'm not saying it's useless. It will be more useful the
Later.
closer you get to him.
Right.
Mhm. But I
Um,
always have it prepared. Always. So.
yes. You also must be familiar with it, but you can also specify a specific object known to you, or an object of a similar kind.
If we had another amulet of proof against detection and location, could we use that as kind of like the source, I guess, or the familiarity?
I believe if you saw one up close, you could definitely target another of its particular kind.
Okay.
Ask if he has another one.
Cordy just kind of looks over at him and is like, well, you've already sold 2 of them. So I'm assuming that you have one more that you could perhaps let me take a look at.
Yeah, no, of course. And he rummages around through his various trinkets and will pull out a rather crude but functional amulet of proof against detection and location. As he's like holding it out to you, you see lots of hesitation as he's not too sure if he's going to get this back.
He's not. So I understand more.
Oh.
He's hesitating. Yeah, Cordelia just takes it and just like puts it in her pocket and is like, thank you so much. And then she just turns to leave.
And that costs money, you know.
I understand that, but it's either this or you. So, fair trade, right?
John thanks him for his kind donation to, I don't want to call it the church, but the Temple of Navras.
You say that name, and his face immediately pales. With that, do you guys leave?
As we do leave, I was just gonna toss 1 gold on the counter.
You
Like,
say like
"Oodaloo."
pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure doing business with you, my friend.
So just dumbfounded, with maybe you have like a last sly smirk as you guys leave him there.
That was easy.
Try to see if I can find him. Would we know any of his frequent haunts? I guess I should say.
Did you guys associate with Hugh at all?
And was he a baller or was he just a guy who kept to himself?
I wouldn't say he's a baller, no.
Yeah, then Alistair did not spend too much time with him.
Okay.
Ron keeps mostly to himself, so probably not.
How high ranking was he within the organization? That's my question.
He is the same rank as you four. Which, if someone like him can end up on Navras's shit list,
Hmm.
He must have done something real bad. I'd say I'm not sure how close Cordy was with him. I don't think that she's particularly close with anyone. But in passing, she probably associated at least a little bit with him. Probably more than the other 2. I don't know about John. He's probably more social than her.
John probably, may have had a couple of drinks with a man. I don't really see him as being terribly social. Probably more business than anything else. Just due to John's nature as being more of a support element he would probably get to work with a bunch of people as his skills required.
I'll tell you what. Either one of you, or both of you, roll a d20, 15 or higher. You might have gleaned something from a conversation or interaction with him. John, it would be John.
That's just perfect, honestly.
We add up to 20.
So, John, you have this recollection of time you had maybe a drink with him, and you are someone of a medical background, yes?
Yeah.
You would have also learned that he had medical experience prior to working with Navras.
Interesting.
So where was this? Was this in like one of Navras's domains lounge? Who made the initiative to have the interaction or conversation?
I would imagine it was probably when I first got acquainted with the man. We were probably in one of Navras's lounge type areas. Just trying to get a sense of who I was working with and, get an overall impression of the man. I asked him about his background, where he'd been, and how he got there.
We see you guys in the lounge exchanging drinks, and maybe his face is a little more flush than usual. It's clear that maybe he had a bit of a stressful night. He is talking to you about a little bit of his past. Well, I don't know if you've ever been to the Undercity, but its folks used to be quite rowdy.
I can't say I've ever been there. Do you have any places you recommend?
Ooh, you. Ooh, you. I like that. He smiles and he says, well, there was this wonderful bar that I frequented often. It's actually named after a worker uprising that happened there. And he takes a stool, illusions it to appear as a soapbox, stands up on it, and says, all the people, underground workers, we've lived here for much time, and if they're not giving us a place to live up there, then I say we make this our home. And he continues on with this sermon. He doesn't give you the name of the place, but I feel like that should be enough to extrapolate. You have heard murmurs and rumors about a bar in the Undercity called the Soapbox Bar.
All right. While he's within that memory, if I may, John probably would have cast thaumaturgy, given him a little bit more of a booming voice, and maybe given him a little bit more of a glow, just to kind of emphasize his little performance.
Lovely.
But John would turn to his compatriots and say, well, I believe at one point Hugh was fond of a place called the Soapbox. We should try there first.
Doesn't sound like high quality to me.
Quality, like most things, it's what you get out of the experience rather than what they provide.
Exactly. And we're looking for information, not a good time
Yet.
yet.
It will always start as business, I see.
All the best things do.
As you guys are standing there, Roland, you'll get a ping on your band.
When you say ping, is this like one of my agents is contacting me?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of put my hand up and brush the band to accept the message.
Nexus, this is Oakley.
Read you, Oakley.
I believe I found the target moving through the Zavala territory. It is one of the ruling families. This family is the Dark Elf family.
Is Target alone?
No, sir. There appears to be a humanoid with him as well, small in stature,
Bright eyes.
too far away, keeping my distance. Voodoo? That's your the message, by the way.
Okay. Okay, so I will, I guess, share with the group that Hugh has been spotted in the Safala territory with the girl. Did the message indicate? I guess it didn't.
You do have open communication with her.
Okay. Which territory? And I guess I need to reference you, James, as far as how far away that is from us.
I don't have a map in particular for this. You would need to hike a bit. It is a good deal away. Probably a fair 5 or 6 miles.
Oh, damn. Okay. Not within 500 feet.
No.
I was about to just open up a dimension door and be like, all right, we're there. So I'll share with the group that Hugh's been spotted. I'd like to ask Oakley what they're doing.
They appear to be moving eastbound, sir. Should I trail them?
Yes, trail and keep me informed as to any developments.
Roger that. Oakley out.
So I'll share with the group. Hugh and the girl have been spotted in Savala's territory heading east. They're there right now. I have an agent trailing them. We need to head that way.
Excellent.
Quite handy.
We can hit the bar on the way or afterwards.
Well, a bar's no place for a child. Perhaps we should,
Intervene?
yes.
Agreed.
So as you guys begin walking, the camera pans away and winds through the Undercity, which is this massive subterranean city built around the infrastructure that holds up the 10th Kingdom. Large support columns built into the mountain's natural stone reach high up into the ceiling or supporting layers above, with dwellings and bridges extending off them in countless directions, forming a spiderweb of stone and concrete. The air is consistently choked with steam rising from several small buildings, all stacked on each other in a cluttered mess, and abandoned machinery looms like dead giants, long since stripped of their parts. Lining, extending, and connecting the buildings are harsh neon lights of varying colors, either used for advertisement or navigation. As you guys begin your journey, you get ever and ever nearer to Zavala territory. Do you guys do anything in preparation?
I make my skeletons go ahead of us.
They form a line and start a skeleton parade.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so they start marching down the street. A parent hides her child's eyes as she gasps in fear.
Right before we enter Savala territory, I like to ask the group if I could cast telepathic bond between us, which allows us to speak telepathically.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, telepathically, and that lasts for up to an hour. But it does require my concentration. So, and as we're, I guess, right before we enter, I'd like to ask for a more specific location from Oakley as to where she's tracked him to.
Yeah, what do you say to her?
Oakley, we are on approach. If we're right out, ETA 5 minutes to Savala territory. Update on location.
As you send out your message, the only thing you get back is static.
Well, shit. All right, I'll tell the group. I can't get a hold of my agent. Last known location, target was heading east.
I got a question. So the three ruling families,
Hmm.
do they have like an adversarial relationship or are they more cooperative?
They are civil when they need to be, but are constantly vying for territory and power.
So showing up with, say, a child of one of the ruling families in tow would probably not go well in this territory.
It may behoove you to obscure your identity. Alistra, is she confident about going into Zavala territory?
Well, she knows that she definitely can't just get run up by Zavala agents and stabbed because that would cause a whole outbreak of fighting and stuff. But she knows that she won't. She won't be poking at anybody. You know what I mean? As long as she stays neutral in the setting, she'll be all right. Plus, she can just call her dad on them, and then we'll see what happens.
You're not making any effort to, I should say, Alistra doesn't see any reason to hide her identity.
I don't know if like have anything to do it. Maybe like some sort of. I don't know if we have like a cloak to at least cover the fancy dress. Can we just retcon that I have one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So she will just wrap up.
And
like faces out, horns are out, that kind of thing.
yeah. Will, I see your message. You could definitely try to do that. Do you have a name, or are you still working on that?
I honestly didn't think I'd get this far, so give me a second.
I'm totally.
I love that.
Am I that cruel a DM, Will?
No. Oh gosh.
That cracked me up. Oh my god.
I'm not good at fake names. I'm totally blanking. This is not good.
What kind of
Use
name
your
are you
help?
looking for?
So I'll just share with the group here. I have a false identity as as one of the ruling Savalas.
Oh man.
Oh my
This
god.
is like your
great.
own kind of. Whoa. Wow, you're in a whole mess of trouble, aren't you?
I really am, aren't I? I'm just gonna go with the name Quinn, short for Harley Quinn, I guess.
Love it.
I gotta write this down before I forget it.
Oh yeah, you should write it down. As someone who's had a lot of fake identities in D&D, you gotta keep them straight.
All right, so you are Quinn. Do you have the last name Zavala, or are you?
I'll go Quinn Zavala. Oh God.
H. Quinn Zavala.
Wow. Whew.
Okay. Is there any costume change associated with this identity shift, or?
Yeah, I'll pull a hat.
A hat. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just put on a baseball cap. No,
Well, do you have a disguise kit?
I do have a disguise kit.
Yeah, there you go. Then that would definitely be the disguise you had associated, right, with your false identity.
Yeah, I'll put on a baseball cap backwards and put my hair through it.
Maybe a little more than just that.
That's an amazing disguise.
It works for all characters. I'm just saying.
Did. I just put on glasses and a suit.
Yeah, sunglasses and a baseball cap. That's it. I want a hat with a feather in it. I know that much.
We can definitely make up that there is a Quinn Zavala that famously struts around with a large plumed feathered hat.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I want the feather to be violet. I want it to be very vibrant.
But people do call you Yankee Doodle behind your back, just FYI.
Exactly what I was going for.
You pull out that hat and Cordy just looks at you and is like, now why on earth have you decided to pull a hat out?
I just put it on and I look to them and I'm like, call me Quinn. Let's do this.
That's it. No backstory. All right. I guess I'm
No.
on board.
No, just trust me. I got this.
So,
Please don't let
so
I have deception. Thank God. Okay.
Don't
John
worry,
looks
I'm not
over
gonna-
at Cordy. John looks over at Cordy and goes, "This is gonna be trouble."
Yeah, I can already tell. It's really. Ugh, she just shakes her head.
you're a half elf, right, Roland?
No, I'm a full elf. I'm a full drow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I love Drow.
Oh, okay. Yes, we can definitely say you are a member of the Zavala family. You are probably someone who does command a level of respect, but portraying yourself as like one of the higher ruling family members probably wouldn't go well for you. So yes, you are Quinn Zavala of the Zavala house, and you, like I said, you do command some respect, but it's not as high as some of the other ones. Like
Mhm.
you're probably like fifth or sixth in line for head of the family.
Okay.
Does that seem fair?
That seems very fair.
So, as you guys, actually, I this is guidance worthy. I need a check for your disguise kit, please.
Guidance.
Yes.
We give advantage if someone's helping.
I feel like this is his disguise.
Okay.
Though maybe if someone is proficient with a disguise kit, is Alistra proficient?
Am I proficient?
Yeah.
These
What is your
tools,
background?
Noble. I don't think nobles have disguise kit.
Yeah, they would
I
not.
do know how to play Dragon Chess though.
Well, that's good.
This would be charisma, right? Because when I just dragged it, it didn't put a attribute to it.
I would allow either charisma or dexterity. Dexterity for like your brushwork, and charisma for just your ability to play into the role.
We're gonna do.
So when you roll that guidance, you rolled a 4, man.
God.
All right, roll a d4 to add to that.
That's rough, buddy.
That is rough.
Keep those
We've all
fours
been
going.
there.
All right. Roll 1d4. Hey.
Okay, 16
16.
is much better.
Yeah.
So you don your disguise, you drag your index finger and thumb across your feather-brimmed hat. You come out of like a phone booth after changing. What do you say to everyone?
All right, chaps, follow me.
Abs.
Leave this. Just go follow along.
He marches merrily down the street, along with the skeletons, I guess. All right, so you guys begin pushing into Zavala territory. You come to a small bridge. You look down, and it is just like pure blackness at the bottom. And standing across the bridge, as you guys so merrily make your way, is a dark elf figure.
Ooh, this looks like trouble.
You clearly see her before you make it onto the bridge.
Do I recognize her? Because as this is my false identity, I'm sure I'd be familiar with the rest of the Zavala line.
Make an insight check, please.
All right. 13.
13. That is definitely good enough. This is someone who basically enforces the territory, more like a fighter or like a scoundrel. So not necessarily very high in the ruling family at all. They are someone who serves the family.
Okay.
So the chance of them having any sort of influence is very low. Someone tells them to come stand here and keep like their territory. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So I'm not sure if, especially with simply having an alternate identity, if you would know this person.
But I know what that post is, right?
Oh yeah. This is someone who's supposed to guard against other faction members.
I would like to walk across the bridge directly to them and just say, "Great job!
Oh my god!
Great
Oh
job!"
my god!
Wow.
Anyone strange come through here?
What is the contested check for a disguise kit? Is it investigation or insight?
Investigation against the check to make it, I believe.
That sounds
That feels right,
sounds
yeah.
incorrect.
Oh Lord.
Godspeed.
Oh hell yeah!
Where is everyone else at this point?
The end of the
Like,
bridge because
yeah.
he rushed on ahead. And we're like, what the hell is he doing?
So
But if he can cover our tracks, I'm down.
So Roland, you march across the bridge. Everyone, you stay on the opposite side, like away from him. Do you guys want me to move you over to the map for quick reference?
Sure.
Would that make it easier?
Yes.
Oh shit! If this blows up, my bad.
Hey, I mean, you're doing.
Hey, listen, I made a map for a reason, okay?
Yeah. I think James thought that this was pretty much gonna go that way, so.
But I mean, if you roll well, it doesn't necessarily have to.
I'll know. I don't have such a great track record rolling.
I do have a strong feeling though, so
May Navras
will-
bless these dice.
yes.
Really?
Yeah, she's been blessing them so far. Oh wait.
So
There.
as I move you guys over to the map,
Ooh, excellent.
the colored lines are nothing but those neon tubes that emit the neon light.
Cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I think Cordy might send a couple of skeletons.
I feel like John would actually walk over there with Roland.
So, you got a 16 on your disguise kit.
Yeah.
I am going to roll investigation for the dark elf. Yeah, this will be a public roll. Why not?
It's more fun that way.
Oh,
Oh.
dang.
All right.
Wow.
So she gets a 6. She looks a little baffled at your appearance as you are Quinn Zavala just parading down in the Undercity. You see her immediately take a stance of submission. She lowers her head and holds her fist to her left shoulder. Master Quinn,
What is your name?
my name is Sierra.
Sierra. Glad to see you standing post.
Yes, sir.
What news do you have?
We captured a spy of some sort. Not sure what their agency is. They don't appear to be Talamain or Grigori. They were
Spy, you
human.
say? A human?
Yes, sir.
Okay, telepathically to everyone, I just kind of say, "Shit, that's Oakley."
Well,
Cordy just laughs telepathically and was like, well, I knew this was gonna be trouble.
So, Roland, you have an option here. You can either choose to abandon Oakley, continue on with your mission, and pass through here without issue,
Or
or you try to save her.
crap. Here's the thing: do I really want a spy that can get caught?
I mean, it's up to you.
You also have
Nervous.
telepathic abilities, so you can converse with your party members too.
Yeah, I'd like to ask the group, like,
Oh no.
do I abandon the spy that got caught, or do I rescue her and have her be of further use to us?
If it were me, I would say that we should get her out of there. We have plausible deniability.
I say leave her.
How
You can
does
al-
Alistair feel?
Well, she does know the importance of family, but what do you know about how close he was with all of his little spy buddies?
I don't know. That's a good question. Roland, how how
How
close are
public
you
were
with
you?
your network? Is this like every Friday you guys grab drinks at like TGI Fridays?
Um, I'd say I thoroughly vet every person I bring into my employ,
Hmm.
but it's more of like a good boss, not necessarily a cool boss, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, she was all about the importance of getting the mission done because she has her own schedule. You know what I mean? Because like, if this would jeopardize the mission, she's like, hell no. But if it's like we can get him and get out and not mess up, she'd be down for it.
Or you guys would just know that Cordy just like literally just does not care. So take that as you will
Yeah.
with her opinion.
So far, Oakley's the only one who's seen Hugh. And
is true.
if we can convince this guard that Oakley was tracking a traitorous half elf, that we were using a human to throw him off the trail.
Well, how's your persuasion?
Mine, not
Yeah.
great.
No, Roland's.
Let me see. Persuasion, I have a 4.
Oh, I have a
Oh.
better persuasion than you.
What do you have?
How
6.
high's your how
Well, I
high's your
got 10,
charisma?
so maybe I should do this.
I don't think that's a good idea because you're
Right,
don't
I'm
think
literally an enemy of the state.
yeah.
Well, I mean, do we want to persuade or do we want to deceive? Because I have an 11 for deception.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
kind
this
of.
really would be a deception check than anything else because we were trying to convince this person it's something else. So
Mhm.
It can be persuasion, intimidation, or deception. It just depends on how you spin it.
okay.
Okay, before I make the decision, I'd like to ask Sierra. I'd like to say, interesting. What have you done with the spy?
We have her bound and unconscious in one of the dwellings here.
What is your plans for them?
We were going to take her back for interrogation and questioning,
Well, shit.
as per the usual process.
Process. Okay. I don't like being the deciding factor. Okay. Here's the thing. Gosh, do I trust Oakley not to divulge
Squeal.
my true identity?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah, that's
That is a
that
good
depends on his
question.
trust of her.
Can't answer that for you.
I'm gonna say I wouldn't. I vet these people, but at the end of the day, I gotta take care of me. You know,
You gotta take care of your own.
Sierra. Would it be possible for me to meet this spy and interrogate her myself, or just interrogate them myself? I don't want to say her because they didn't say who it was.
She goes to open her mouth, maybe like to protest, but immediately thinks better of it. And she nods. Yes, Master Quinn, of course. As she goes to lead you,
Wait,
Alistair.
before she leaves, I want to ask her one more question.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Who else knows of the spy's capture?
We haven't had a chance to report this in yet.
Perfect. Okay. Could you lead my friends and I to them?
She looks behind you as if for the first time realizing you're traveling with 2 humans, 4 skeletons, and potentially tiefling. And as she looks past you, from the door behind you, you will see another one of these dark elves emerge.
Oh shit.
And she's gonna look at you and make a history check to see if she knows who you are. Would you say
Okay,
the
guys.
DC for this would be? You're the daughter of the like ruling house head.
Yeah.
So I was thinking
she's been to a
12?
couple parties. Yeah, we'll say 12.
12 sounds good. Okay.
Oh, she knows.
Oh no.
Well, we get to now we get to really get Oakley back.
So she looks at you, Alistra, and then she looks at Roland. I'm gonna have her do the same investigation check. 7? Okay.
Sorry, guys.
So
Someone.
she thinks you're Quinn. Actually, I am going to roll that at advantage. Does that seem fair?
Go for it. I love drama.
Okay.
Not 20. Let's see it. Oh shit. Well, they both know who I am.
Okay. So I think she's skeptical. So she's like looking at you, and you can tell she's not buying into it.
I would like to say, do I see her look at Alistro? And like before she starts looking skeptical?
What is
getting mean mugged right now?
What is Alistra's response to this drow appearing behind her? Does she jump as the door opens, or?
I mean, with 22 passive perception, like at least kind of hint me that somebody was coming.
Yeah, you heard the door open like as soon as it happened.
She's like a oh boy kind of face. So she will turn and face the one who's walking up on her. I give a slight bow and greeting.
Okay. She does not reciprocate the bow, but it is sort of clear from their demeanor that this drow is of a lesser rank than the one across the bridge. So she's sort of deferring to her superior at the moment.
I would like to say to the drow in front of me, I forget her name, I'm sorry. Sierra. I would like to say, Sierra, as you probably know, I travel with Alistra, daughter of, who is it? The Talamans?
Salazar.
The
Yes,
Salazar, daughter of
Talamar.
Salazar. I bring her here in a gesture of goodwill for an upcoming venture.
Just smacks her face with her hand.
Alistair, do you move up to like take a position up next to Roland as he's talking about you?
Yeah, I'll buy into it, the yes and kind of thing. And it's like, oh, if you will let us pass in peace, I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen. And I would hate to disturb such a peaceful street.
Sounds like
Can
intimidation.
I want to persuade.
That sounds like intimidation, man.
No, I want to persuade. Give me this one. Give me one.
You will have to amend what you say to not sound so threatening.
Okay. Yeah, of course. And she'll agree, like, oh, this was a wonderful opportunity to come down here. I would only wish that we could pass in peace.
Okay, that much better. Yes, one of you can roll with advantage on a persuasion.
Can I take that, please? I have a nice bonus to that one.
I have a 4 persuasion, so all you, buddy.
Excellent. 10. Go. 25.
25.
I think that's all right.
So Sierra, this drow, looks a little confused. Doesn't seem like she was notified of anything, any event like this. But it's also coming from Quinn, so it must be true. She nods and she says, yes, of course, Quinn, but if she is under our protection, it might be better to keep her away from the spy. We don't know what tricks they have up their sleeves.
I will defer to Alistra, basically asking, do you think... I don't know how I word this. I believe Alistra can take care of herself, but I will leave that final judgment to her.
Well, she doesn't want to drop it, but she doesn't want to miss out either. Can I roll another persuasion sort of that you can trust me? I whip up a little speech here.
It's not a thing about trust. It's about her not wanting to have any possibility of conflict if you are to get hurt, because you are currently their liability. That's how she sees it. So, and at the end of the day, right now, Roland's word is the word.
I'd say
hold up her hands.
Little risk.
Yeah, it's up to whatever Roland will say she'll go with, but some decisions will make her more sad than others. But if bringing her along would like totally botch this, she can like sit down somewhere.
I would tell Sierra, I wouldn't want to tarnish this trust she has shown by keeping her out of the conversation.
She nods and says, very well, if you'll follow me then.
All right. I follow Sierra.
I'm just going to group your skellies into a neat little 4x4, Stephanie.
Yeah. They stay outside. I tell them to.
So she walks, you guys are free to move your tokens. She walks you up.
My little dude's still invisible.
Other drow will follow you as well. She makes a point of staying behind you, Alistra.
Yeah, she's totally understandable of that. She'll turn around every so often. It's like, oh, what's your name? And I assume she will say nothing.
Make a persuasion check.
22.
I think she's fine with telling you her name, but there is an obvious skepticism. She just mutters, Naomi.
Well, it's good to meet you. I assure you that I will be of no trouble.
She narrows her eyes at you.
She wants to be a little bit friendly, you know? Because, you know, if it's time to whip out the bow, then she'll get what's coming to her. But for now, we're all smiles.
So she does a shrill whistle to the house. You see another drow poke their head up. She says something in Elvish. Only those of you who speak Elvish understand it. But she says, fetch the spy. The drow nods and will arrive outside.
Speaking Elvish, not Undercommon?
Yes, Elvish.
I took Undercommon.
There are definitely people who speak Undercommon here, but it seems like a subconscious thing to them. Undercommon is like the common of this world, or of this district, right? So they're doing that thing where they see that there's two humans and assume that you don't know what they're saying when they speak Elvish.
That would be correct.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we are like so in sync on the same wavelength.
When I hear them speak in Alistra, do you speak Elvish?
I don't want to retcon, but it would make sense that she would know the language of her possible enemies.
Well, I also want to give you, because if you took a giant, that's not very useful. And I didn't give you that information. What languages did you take?
Well, I start with Common and Infernal because I'm a tiefling, and I get to choose an extra because of Noble.
Then I would say you could either choose Undercommon, which is the common of this, like this district, or you can take Elven, whichever you would have seen more beneficial.
I've done Elvish more because I like the high class parties. They'd be using their own proper languages, I'd say.
Okay.
Speaking of, James, can I quickly change? Because I have Common and Elvish. I didn't know Undercommon would be the common here. Can I just change that or no?
Well, common comes by default. You should have also gotten some languages with your background.
I think it was just Common.
What is your background?
Charlatan.
Does Charlatan give you a language? Does not
No.
give you an extra language. No. So common and Elven come with your race, so you wouldn't have actually gotten the chance to learn any other languages.
Okay.
Unfortunately. So the drow emerges from the dwelling with a bound Oakley. You would recognize her as one of your agents, Roland.
Is Oakley still wearing the earpiece?
She is. But she is unconscious.
Okay. In that case, it doesn't matter.
Sierra will gesture for you to go up and examine her.
All right. So I go up and I wake Oakley if I can.
Go ahead and move your ear token.
So I go up right in front of Oakley. Assuming this is Oakley, or is it the other one?
It is this one, the one to the left. As Roland walks up to this spy, Alistra, you will hear from behind you the drow begin casting a spell.
Do you know which one?
Do you want to examine her, make an Arcana check?
Yes.
Well, it's
Natural
a
20, baby.
Nat 20, I'll get you a lot. She's casting Levitate on herself.
Oh, herself.
Yep.
Can I assume that this is for a nefarious deed?
Make an
Rolling into
insight. Make an
I
insight check.
love those. Okay, I rolled a 4, so that turns into a 7. That would become a 20.
I will have her make a deception check. 16.
Oh.
She is like side-eyeing you. You watch her look at the bridge, which is currently barred
Only our
by
friend.
a horde of skeletons.
I don't know. Send my skeletons into the pit. I worked hard on those.
And she's looking over the ledge or across it.
I'm gonna say, looking for something?
She glowers at you and walks away.
She'll like give like that bye now wave.
With her levitate, she will leap off and glide to the other side. Cordy, you hear a small like murmur, not like a confrontational one, but more of just a grunt to let you know that there is someone behind you. So
It's
she
like
clears her throat.
Oh, hi. Am I in your way?
She does not respond, and
Very
she walks
rude.
up to Sierra and whispers something in her ear.
Can I hear it?
Make what's your passive perception?
19.
You hear Elvish.
Ugh.
I'm so sorry.
Courtney just like rolls her eyes and is like, why do all
Why do all elves speak Elvish?
Yeah, why
Do I
do
hear
all
it?
of these elves speak Elvish? So annoying. It's like
Do I
the
hear them
puppy.
speaking Elvish by chance?
Please make. What is your passive perception, Roland? 14. We'll see how stealthy she's being. She gets a 15, so please make an insight. Oh, not an insight, a perception check to be able to hear this. Oh my gosh!
Wow, jeez Louise.
All
So
praise Navras.
Thanks, Nav.
you hear her whispering behind you, and as you're looking at Oakley, you hear the words, "I don't think he's Quinn."
I'd like to turn around at that and simply say, please speak plainly so that all our guests may understand. It is rude to speak another language.
I will allow Sierra one more investigation check. If she fails, then she tells Naomi to fall in line. If she succeeds, then there might be trouble.
Oh, Lord.
Sound good?
I mean, at least Oakley's outside now.
Yeah.
It was a 16 she had to beat, right?
Yes.
Oh my
Wow.
god!
Wait, did
Are we
you give
screwed?
her advantage last
Oh.
time?
15.
So you hear Naomi whispering to Sierra, and you see like a twinge of hesitation, and then she looks at you one more time, a very discerning look, and shakes her head, barks at Naomi in Elvish. Stand down. You see cowed Naomi lower her head and drift back to the other side.
That's all right, sweetie. They're not all home runs. She just
You
waits.
say that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
She is visibly what is the admonished? She has been admonished. There's like embarrassment on her face as she keeps her head lowered and returns to the back. Sierra turns to you, Roland, and says in common or undercommon. Wait, do you speak
I
undercommon?
did not speak Undercommon.
Wow,
But
please.
this is so perfect.
Oh my god! You
Wow.
you tell her to speak plainly so everyone understands. She speaks Undercommon, assuming everyone knows that. Roland, she says something you don't understand.
Do I hear it though?
Oh my gosh, you guys have your telepathic link.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, you both
Oh,
understand her.
What'd she say?
She says, "Understood, sir. Please continue."
I
Oh,
just look at I look at Cordelia and I'm like, what?
she looks away for a second, like she didn't hear it.
Fix your
and-
teeth a little bit.
yeah. Has this shit-eating grin, and then she's like, nah, I'll tell you what she said. Fine. She tells you. But only this once. You better learn that Undercommon. I have to get you a dictionary.
Crap. I just nod. 'Cause
There's a slight delay where there's a look of processing on your face, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, she waits a good few seconds too, and she's like, I don't really know if I should help you in this situation. You remember that other time? She just translates it. Just make him squirm a little bit. So sorry.
This whole time, I don't turn around and look at Celia. I'm still looking at Oakley.
Okay. So once Cordy tells you what she says, how does Roland respond?
Just a nod, an acknowledgement. That's all.
That was beautiful, by the way. She says something again in Undercommon, but assuming you have your party mates to help you, she says, "Should we let you handle it from here, Master Roland?" Not Master Roland. Oh my gosh, Master Quinn.
I nod again, and I start, and I just look towards Oakley, and oh gosh.
Amelia's enjoying watching him squirm so much. This is very funny to her. I'm sorry, I know that's cruel, but it's funny.
It's okay. I didn't.
It's extra funny to me because something very similar happened to me in our main campaign. So
And
I feel like
you wouldn't think language would be an issue at 10th level, but here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Just have my hand under my chin and I'm nodding. You know, I
Okay.
rub my feather a little bit.
So
Cordelia just leans into John and is like, "Should we tell him the wrong thing once? That'd be funny."
You guys are assholes.
She's just grinning. She's like, "It'd be real funny."
I can't even say anything because now I've asked them to speak a language I don't understand.
it's really beautiful, I have to
Truly,
say.
honestly, it is.
So the
Oh wait, hold on.
What's up?
Hold on. There might be a solution.
there's no they've already done their investigation checks. They're not going to keep you. You see them both bow their head, allowing you free passage, as well as taking Oakley with you.
Okay, I just grab Oakley and walk away with her. And I would like to mentally tell everyone in the group that if they question, just tell them that we will conduct the investigation ourselves and that they can return to their posts.
So
Copy that,
and-
boss.
Cody's like, "What? You can't tell him?" Oh, that's right, you can't.
I walk past Cordy and I just stare her down the whole way. It's like, just do it.
with that, you guys proceed past the checkpoint with Oakley in tow. So at this point, you don't meet any resistance as you continue your way.
Convenient.
As we leave eyesight of Sierra and the guards, I'd like to take off my hat and express to the group that might have been a bad idea because I don't speak their language.
No, I didn't get that at all.
It turned out fine.
I would also like to ask Caldy, hey, can you teach me undercommon at some point?
No, probably not. She just kind of smiles at you. I mean, maybe if you'd like to, sign up for a lesson.
Okay.
If you would like, I can take you into my tutelage.
Oh yeah, John's a much better teacher than I am.
Noted.
Maybe we could double team.
I guess we should wake Oakley and ask, like, where they were last seen.
So waking her is very easy. As you wake her, you can see that there are arrow marks from where she was shot with crossbow bolts, and poison had seeped into her wounds. But you successfully rouse her, maybe in like an alley, sort of out of the drow's eye,
Mm-hmm.
and she comes to and sees that it's you, Roland. A look of relief washing over her face, and then a look of dread as she knows she fucked up.
So does she seem like she's still being affected by the poison? Like, can she think straight?
She's a little groggy, but it's not going to affect her mechanically, no.
Okay, do I know what the poison is?
Yeah, make a history check. You can have advantage since literally Quinn is one of your alter egos.
16.
Are you also proficient with nature or no?
I am not proficient with nature.
Okay, then that's fine. 16, you would know that drow use a special potion or poison concoction of their own, though you don't know all of the effects.
Okay, so I don't know if it's lethal or not.
No, you would not know that.
Could I ask the group if any of them know what type of poison it is?
Yeah. Do any of you think you'd be familiar? Alistra, I definitely think you would be.
What about survival?
Could John make a medicine check?
Medicine would also be applicable, yes.
I'll give you guidance, though I'm sure you can do it yourself and you probably don't need it.
Right.
So while there are definitely poisons that are deadly that the drow employ, this particular one, with the discoloration around the wound and how she's still able to speak after being shot what looks like 3 or 4 times, this just looks like a very potent poison that if you succumb to its worst effects, you lose consciousness.
She'll be fine. It's basically it's a knockout gas. She'll be fine. Just give her some time.
Okay, good. I'd like to look at Oakley and tell her that as punishment for her failure, she must heal from her wounds and suffer the effects of poison. And if she fails me again, she will not be rescued. And then I will ask where Hugh and the girl were last seen.
No eye contact with you at all, almost too ashamed to look you in the eye. As you admonish her, she says, Understood, sir. Understood loud and clear. I must saw them heading down this way. And she gestures down a street. She says, I heard the child murmuring about never being to a bar before, and he quickly hushed her. It was not a long conversation.
Which bar?
They didn't say, sir.
Okay. I'm assuming I'd have knowledge of some of the more prominent bars in the territory.
Well, you do know of one.
Telepathically, John would whisper into his ear, probably the soapbox.
In that case, I say we head there, and I tell Oakley to go rest and recover, and to inform Gadget and Woody of her injury and incapacitation.
I almost thought you were going to say negligence.
Mhm. No, I won't say negligence here.
Okay. So she nods, affirmative, sir, and she will quickly vanish.
To the soapbox.
No time like the present.
So as you guys continue your trek, it'll become apparent that you eventually leave the Zavala territory. You see more working class individuals, more what looked like to be mechanics, half orcs, large, brutish, like men and women, sort of carrying things about. In the distance, with 4 bridges on all sides, is a lonely little bar. The bar is sort of isolated on its own little rock island that sort of juts up out of the chasm. You see the neon lights running to it all in like various directions, and it is comprised of 2 box-shaped buildings stacked disjoint from each other.
Oh, I think we found our bar. Shall we?
Let me go ahead and show you guys the map, actually. So mind you, you guys aren't close enough to see like specific individuals yet, but this is kind of the layout. Across from the southern bridge seems to be one of the entrances.
Should we send one person in to take a look for him and have the rest of us man the bridges, as it were?
That's probably a good idea.
How far does this telepathy go? Like, do we have to be within 30 feet of each other, or?
It lasts an hour, and it can be within any range on the same plane, I believe.
Marvelous.
Going through the Zavala territory, it definitely would have been longer than an hour.
I can recast it.
Mm-hmm.
Go save your slots though.
All you have to
Or-
do is take a
It
short
doesn't use
rest.
any of my slots, actually.
You can cast it as a ritual.
Yes.
I feel
Let's
like
do
as
it.
soon as it dropped, you probably could have spent the 10 minutes while we were walking.
Most definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't even require concentration.
As you guys are sort of scoping this place out, feel free to talk and sort of scheme, I guess is a good word.
Well, we could each take a door or an
Mhm.
exit. Who knew him best? Was that you, John?
It was me, yes.
So maybe we don't send you in. Pretty sure that'd be a good tip off. I met him once, so maybe not me either.
I mean, I could go in as under the guise of giving him a heads up.
Oh, that'd be very sneaky of you, wouldn't it? I like that.
I like that as well. If you lead, give him a warning, and then maybe we show up afterwards and just kind of reaffirm your bond with him to trust.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, wait. Do you know what I could do before we don't even know he's in there? She pulls that amulet that they got at the beginning of the session out, and yeah, I guess I'm gonna cast locate object.
Ooh.
You are most definitely. Are you doing this as a ritual? Can you do it
This
as a
is
ritual?
it's not a ritual, but it is part of my finder's magic
Ah.
from my mark of finding, so it's free once a day.
So, tell me what your locate object looks like.
Well, this is the finder's magic, so it probably looks a little bit different. I think that this looks like she just kind of like uses her hands to, do the somatic component, and it's just like this little smoky dragon that kind of like flows out from her fingers, and this like kind of necrotic blackish purplish kind of sort of thing, and like swirls around the amulet she has, and then like flies off to kind of point her in the correct direction.
So we see this like invisible stream sort of branch out from you.
Mhm.
We see it like maybe like lean one way as if it's like looking, and then lean another way, and then meander towards the bar, where you see it pierces through one of the windows on the upper
Yeah.
story.
Got him. 2 points very subtly to the window on the upper story.
Excellent.
But of course, it can't be this easy.
Well, what do you
Well,
say we
let's
go
get it started.
inside? Yep.
All right, John, which you want to go to the one closest to the stairs if you can find it, and we'll take
Yep.
the other.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
So just to be clear, you guys don't have to go to this central island to get to any of one of these bridges. It is definitely possible to circumvent it and come at it from all angles.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think that
Nice.
Cordy wants to circumvent that and come from, I guess, around
Yeah.
the best she could, and then she'd also like to take her skeletons and post them around. So
I don't think you'll be able to get them that close without arousing some level of suspicion. I feel like you probably have your skeletons like cloaked. That's fine.
yeah.
But if you're like posting them up outside the door, that is a little suspicious.
Understandable.
I think right there is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. They're just hanging. She's like, look like bones.
What about Alistra? Does she and Roland go anywhere?
Yeah, we're pulling up to the party.
Honestly, if I can do it without raising suspicion, Roland wants a drink. Like,
So it looks like Alistra and Roland are accompanying John into the bar.
I don't know about accompanying. Like, can I just look like I'm entering at the same time and go straight to the stool?
I definitely don't think all of us should go in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you want to go into the bar, it's fine. John will let you go in first. As for Alstra, maybe you take the opposite bridge from Cordy, just so that we have at least 2 of the bridges covered.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, huh?
Uh-huh.
Plus, you said that
Oh,
your
this goes
weapon
like
is like a longbow, right? So
Oh, yes.
that'll be probably better for you anyway.
I can hit literally anybody on this map.
Love
No
it.
problems.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
And I'll have, I guess, my quasit just like invisible on my shoulder or something.
Good plan.
So Roland, as you approach, and I guess Alistra, as you would have come across the bridge, you will see disjointed building sections. There's a section of the roof of the lower portion that is kind of exposed, creating a little balcony / awning. And on the awning, you see what looks to be a half-orc individual smoking a cigar. He takes stock of both you, Alistra, and Roland as you walk in, sitting up and walking into the second story.
We got a little somebody.
Roland, you sit down at the bar. A couple of the patrons give you glances or look at you sidelong, and you can tell that they're of the worker variety. Behind the counter is a half-orc who is finely dressed, mixing drinks. You see on his arm, he has this sort of fitted appendage that covers his arm, almost like a metallic armor coating or glove. And you see he's using mage hand to reach down, grab bottles. You see a shaker shaking itself and then pouring into a glass. As you walk up, he turns around very cheerily and says, "Oh, hello, what can I get you?"
Does he speak in common or undercommon?
Undercommon.
Hi, man.
I keep forgetting.
This is so funny for so many reasons.
Oh God.
I'm right there with you, Steph. That's fantastic.
I know, right?
I just can I just be like in common? What?
Oh.
No, don't tell me I just blew this thing. Come on. I just want to drink, man.
So you say what in common, which is probably the same word in undercommon. It's just like a different dialect. And he like scratches his head and says in undercommon, "You mean you don't speak undercommon?"
Lord, give me a second. Hold on. I don't know if this will be good or bad, but so can I just like use my awakened mind ability, just touch his mind and telepathically just be like a glass of mead, please. And I put a gold coin on the table.
Okay, so
What do you
you're gonna speak into his mind.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a strange looking individual. It's not like he knows who you are. So you reach into his mind and speak telepathically. You see him get a curious look, but it's not a visceral reaction, as if this isn't something he's unused to. And you ask for a thing of mead.
Mm-hmm.
He scratches his head, says out loud, "Sorry, sir, but we don't actually serve mead. We have brown ale, if that's something that's acceptable to you."
I just pushed the coin forward on the table.
Okay, you still don't understand him,
Not at
but he
all.
takes that as an affirmation, and he's like, "Right, all right." And yeah, he grabs a glass mug, fills it up with a frothy brown ale, and passes it to you.
I just kind of look at it and I'm like, huh, I've seen dark mead before, and I take a swig. I put it down on the table and I'm just look confused for a second.
This isn't what I ordered.
Yeah.
I need to speak to your manager.
Oh my god.
God, I need to learn this fucking language.
At this point, Johnny, you can have walked in.
Thank you.
I'm funny. Can be quiet.
Okay. So you walk in. He takes notice of you. You see like a couple of the patrons exchange more curious looks, like they don't normally get strangers, let alone two in one day. The very accommodating the bartender says, "Oh, just grab a seat anywhere. What can I get you to drink?"
2 fingers of whiskey, my good man.
Coming right up. You'll see with another mage hand grabs a shot glass off the drying rack and pours your whiskey for you, sliding it across the table and continuing its momentum with the mage hand.
Much obliged. Thank you. What's the cost?
A silver, unless you're feeling particularly generous.
Always nice being in a new place. And he slides 2 silvers across the table.
Do you want ice with that?
Oh, no, thank you. I take it neat.
All right then. He'll swipe the silver from the table.
Is there an upstairs area? I'd like to be alone for a moment.
Unfortunately, it's being rented out by another party right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, dear. Who is it, if I may ask?
I apologize, but they ask that I keep their meeting private.
Totally fair. I'm actually looking for a friend of mine, and he would slide another silver across the table. Would you, if this is the person I'm thinking of, tell them that John has stopped by. He would like to have a word.
Very, very well.
He'll slide the coin across the table. Looking in that direction, you'll see him exert some amount of mental focus. He lingers as if waiting for a response. You said your name was John.
Yes.
Right. Terribly sorry. I don't believe they recognize you. Do you have a last name?
Sterling.
He will send another message. Could you just make a quick insight check for me, please, John?
Yep.
So Mage Hand doesn't require material components, but you see him fiddling nervously with his arcane focus, his glove.
My good man, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not necessary.
Right. Terribly sorry, but they're not seeing anyone right now. Not sure if this is your friend or not, but I'm afraid you'll have to catch them at another time.
John sighs rather deeply,
Oh
and
no.
he looks the bartender square in the eye and says, "This cannot wait."
This is not what I thought he was going to say.
I see. Well, perhaps, and he will begin moving from behind the counter and go to move past you to go up the stairs. Perhaps
Okay.
I should speak with them in person.
That would be wise.
And he will disappear up the ladder, of which you hear the sound of a trap door closing over top of it.
Cordy sends a message through the telepathic bond and is like, what is going on in there?
John responds with, "Trying not to get killed."
Killed or caught? You get killed, you're fine. You get caught, it's not as good.
A little of column A, a little bit of column B.
Fine. Is locate object still pinging in the same area?
From where you are standing, it is
Mhm.
pinging right here.
Is it a balcony or is it just like a...
I'm going to draw this as best I can. Picture this as if you were looking at the building, like with your own eyes, not a helicopter view, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So the first level is just this box. It is a very simple design, and disjoint off of that box, sort of coming off one of the corners,
Mhm.
is
Is this like two shipping containers stacked on top of each other?
it
Being
does look
slightly
like
offset?
that, yes.
That's
And
what I was thinking.
they're offset so that there's like a little balcony on this side,
Mhm.
and then there are stilts basically
Holding
Are
the other
you-
cube up.
holding the
Okay.
other side up. And then there's an empty space where that
Mhm.
sort of serves as a balcony on the other side.
So Cordy is looking at the beams from where she's standing.
Yes.
Okay.
You can kind of see this darker stone tile
Yes.
area that is
Mhm.
like the overhang, basically.
Yep. Okay, I got you. So it's still just pinging like right here. It's not. It hasn't moved, has it?
Hard to say.
Cool. She'll just let John know. Still in the same spot. I can't see into the windows though, so unless I could fly.
What is it? Stay frosty.
I guess you mean keep it on ice, but continue. Sorry, James. Stay frosty.
What is everyone's plan? The bartender disappears up the ladder, closes the hatch door, and you hear like a locking sound. It's not very subtle.
Got it.
And you guys are sort of left there as the bar patrons kind of grumble and give you like side glances.
Alistair's just waiting for him to show so he can shoot somebody.
Okay, so of these three half orcs sitting in this room, which one of them seems the least antagonistic?
You can make an insight check. All right. So these two at this table, they're sitting together and they're like talking in hushed voices, speaking orc. I don't know if you understand them or not.
Nope.
Okay. But yes, you hear them speaking hushed and making glances at you. This one over here just appears to be, another labor worker. They seem probably tired after a long shift. They have made some glances at you, but they don't appear outwardly hostile.
Okay.
At least not as much as these two.
Fair. All right, so John would slowly approach this area and ask in Undercommon, may I sit down with you for a moment? Clearly, I'll be waiting here for at least a short while.
Stares at you, picks up, turns sideways, and kicks the stool out. It screeches across the floor, and he nods.
John gives him a nice smile and says, much obliged. And then he'll sit down and try to make small talk with the half orc. And he'll actually put the stool back where he kicked it and take this one right here. At which point, John would say, please take no offense. I prefer my back to the wall.
Yeah, he grunts and nods. We don't get many like you in these parts.
I'm not often here myself. It's a lovely place, though. I assume you're a regular.
He squints at you as you call this place a lovely place. Why don't you tell me why you're talking to me in the first place? Let me finish my drink in peace.
Well, I'm talking to you because the two gentlemen on the other table seemed a little bit otherwise engaged. I wasn't very comfortable staying at the bar, and this is the only other table in the room. You had every right to say no.
Perhaps you piqued my interest.
Oh, I don't. That doesn't often happen to me.
Yeah, he looks you up and down, shakes his head, as if he's saying, like, I don't buy that.
Just a man of the cloth, he says while wearing full plate armor.
Uh-huh. He looks at your armor, and there is make an insight check, please.
Okay.
There is it reminds him of something. Your armor is probably very finely made. It's clear he's thinking of someone as he looks at your armor. Who made your armor?
That's an excellent question. I don't know of actually. um,
Oh yeah. I'd like to know too, since I have the same armor.
is there an armor that would have grown up around within the confines of Navras' domain?
I almost want to say she probably has her own personal armor.
Oh, fancy.
Armorer, not armor.
Yeah.
Armorer.
Would we have gotten her armor as a gift from her?
Most definitely, yes.
Okay. Then I would provide this charming gentleman with the name of that armorer, and then take a brief drink of my whiskey.
Yeah, he scoffs and shakes his head. Never heard of him. But your armor looks well made.
Well, thank you. I will definitely pass along the compliment.
He puts his fist on the table and leans in very close. If you don't want it to get dented, you best behave yourself here. These are good people. You cause trouble, that armor's not going to protect you. You hear?
I hear, my good man. If you'll notice, I'm unarmed. I come bearing no no ill will.
Let's keep it that way. Now,
Well,
if you'll excuse me,
by all means.
he will look at you expectantly, waiting for you to leave the table.
With that, John will stand up and go hang out over here by the boxes. I assume those are boxes.
Yeah, they're just miscellaneous crates.
Yep. And he would steal a glance up the ladder.
Okay, the hatch door is still down, so you can't see up into it.
All right, well, climb that ladder, gonna knock on the door.
Okay, you climb up, knock on it. The lock rattles against it. No response.
He's gonna use thaumaturgy, and he's going to call out Hugh.
Did we hear that outside?
With thaumaturgy? Hell yeah.
Courtney's like, what in the hell are you doing?
In what language does he say this?
Cover's blown, baby.
Undercommon.
Cool. I just sip my.
Wait, no. He's saying a name. You don't need a specific language for a name.
Fair.
So I intentionally included something at the very beginning of this episode. I was just curious to see if any of you picked up on it. I'm not going to say what it is.
Please help us.
We're dumb. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
So when I was describing the scene of you guys going into the shop, there was a goblin who was working on the neon lights.
Oh, it's fire.
I have no desire to break anything, which is strange for me.
I do.
On the top floor, I mean, could we smoke them out if these things are prone to catching on fire?
There are innocent people in this tavern, but you know what? Who cares about those fools?
All hail Navras.
Oh my god.
I did say this was a morally ambiguous campaign, did I not?
You did.
I don't know why everyone's like, oh no, the innocents. Cordelia's like, I'm about to set this shit on fucking fire. Does John relay that he can't get up there?
Yeah,
you
at this
guys
point,
hear him like shout with thaumaturgy, Hugh.
Cordy is going to do something then, because this is taking too long for her. She is impatient.
Please, this meat is terrible.
The meat is so bad. Chill touch has to be a creature, so I can't grab it.
Well, it's that's kind of that would be like me telling you can't use firebolt to light a fire, right?
Yeah.
You could very easily conjure your chill touch, grab one of those neon tubes and crush it in your necrotic hand.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do as I step here. I'd like to do it to this one in particular.
Are you warning any of your friends that are currently in the bar right now?
No, I just do it. And then I go, oh, I think I might have started a fire. And that's it. But like after it like starts to spark and start a fire.
Perfect. Do you say anything out loud as you do this? This is your like, come out, Hugh. It's time to play.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. She's like so sick of it. She just like, you know what? It's even better if she just like throws a hand axe at it. Cause fuck it, I'm never gonna use these things. That's not my MO. So she just like takes out her hand axe and like aims it and to hit one of those. And is like, come out, wherever you are. She's just like, can't wait.
So immediately from the neon tube, the building catches light.
I had a fire ready.
Is anyone else resistant
You
to fire
know I
damage?
had a fire ready. Come on.
You've been waiting for me to do this.
Listen, I had fire on each of the contact points.
Don't worry, I'll set this one on fire too. I'll throw a hand axe at this one and I'll chill touch that one.
So you throw your hand axe. It erupts into flame. This is like a chemical fire that starts like catching on the building itself, despite its stone makeup. And you see a shadow pass by one of the windows as there is a clear panic. I think maybe that's where we end our session for tonight.
Oh,
The house fire.
The fire.
Cordy will just like, as he's passing the window, though, she's gonna like follow him every window he passes.
Well, thank you guys for borderline being my first evil campaign.
Definitely me.
Oh, it's not like punching orphans or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was actually very surprised that you didn't leave Oakley behind.
Well, I was thinking Oakley could divulge who I was, and I've already pretended to be this like sixth in line for the lead. And if she divulged who I was, then I'm screwed.
What would have happened if you had decided not to save her? Your agents all have fake tooths with poison in them.
Oh, like the bite down. Okay.
Oh,
It's the cyanide, man.
So you would have been down an agent, but they would have been of no threat to you.
I would have let her die.
Yeah, if we let her die, we wouldn't have figured out where they actually went.
That's true.
it's one chance. That's it. Next time she's dead.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Radio D&D. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Radio DD Pod, and make sure to check out Drawforth Arts on Instagram. They created our podcast cover art and did an absolute amazing job. If you liked what you heard, please rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening. Join us next time on Radio D&D.